same time. However,
and the reason I said focus on how he says they were both, so they both didn't mind sending photos, but then he says, you didn't hear, I mean, yeah, she was doing it for me. Wait, let me start from right here.
I think that a lot of people thought she was.
Oh, yeah, she was already. However, yeah, she was. However,
I'm going to pause in a second. Somebody said, so is Dan a liar? I'm going to answer that in a second.
All the photos and all that stuff was more mutual between us. I mean, we both were totally okay with it. So, yeah, I mean, she was doing it for me, but at the same time, she wanted to do it just because something new for her to do, so she's not used to doing the naughty stuff for me.
Since she's not used to doing naughty stuff. Not used to doing naughty stuff? Wait, you can turn on the comments. You shouldn't have to turn off the comments. I definitely want people to be able to comment. Okay, so Dan, let me explain something to y'all. Role play, okay? Role play, you listening? Role play does not always mean BDSM. But BDSM is always role play. So just because she role played, like I've spoken to her about Dan, you know what they used to role play? Comics type shit. Like Superman and Lois Lane. That is not the same as, I don't know, Nick telling her, tell me how you would grape me. That's not the same. So no, Dan wasn't lying when he said, he never said the word BDSM. Y'all, people added that. If you go read the transcripts from his deposition, he never says BDSM. Just because someone and there's nothing wrong if you're into BDSM either. There's a difference between BDSM and sadism also, like when you like to see people in pain and you want to, but anyways, let's continue. But anyways, so again, you heard what he said. That was mutual. I mean, yeah, she did it for me, but at the same time, she wanted to because she wanted to do something. Hold on, let me rewind it. Let me see. I mean, she was doing it for me. But at the same time, she wanted to do it just because something new for her to do, since she's not used to doing naughty stuff.
Sure. And who came up with it first?
What? Ready?
Well, I was the one that started that. Yeah.
You heard him? Who came up with it first? Let's repeat that again. And this was the part I slowed down because it's really hard for you to hear him.
So she's not used to doing the naughty stuff for me.
Sure. And who came up with it first?
Well, I was the one that started that. Yeah.
I'm the one that thought the idea. I mean, I talked about that. I'm the one that talked about doing that. It's hard to understand them, but, well, I was the one that thought that, and then you ready for this part? And then she...
went on from there.
And then she just pretty much went on from there.
What was your idea? Like, maybe it would be a bit fun to kind of dress up and be sort of different characters. Is that what your idea was?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. What's not BDSM? That was Nick, not Dan. Yep, he said it first. Who said it first? How about the toothbrush and stuff like that? Okay, the toothbrush, you mean a woman, smash, a woman doing that? Girl, I promise you, Gypsy ain't the only one that used a toothbrush. She got a mom that wouldn't let her leave her house where she's supposed to get something else from. And stuff with Dan, that's naughty stuff, right? Okay, that's where you need to understand Nick. Y'all have never sat down and actually tried to understand Nick. Instead, y'all tried to he's a poor victim and it's just Gypsy. If y'all have gotten to, like I have over the last 2 years, before the last 2 years, because before I even started talking about Fancy, who I was coming to TikTok talking about was Nick, but then all these bitches on the internet was whining and bitching, so I decided not to talk about Nick because I didn't want to get attacked. But I wish I would have, because that's the first thing I learned was all these things about Nick. Naughty to Nick is not role playing. Fucking Batman and Robin. I mean, Robin, Superman and Lois Lane. That's not naughty to him. Naughty to him, you know what naughty to him is. Naughty to him is grape fantasies. Naughty to him is getting Gypsy to do humiliation test. Maybe if Into the Weeds responsibly put out the evidence that they got last time, we wouldn't be here still today doing this. Because you know those videos she's picking apart and putting out choosing what to put out? We had the transcripts already. The whole thing's on my YouTube, but y'all don't want to go look at that. Because last year when she started reading Nick's videos, guess what? She stopped. You want to know why? She said it was too heavy. Oh, it's too heavy. I'm not going to. So she went straight to Gypsy's. And if you would go to Nick's videos, you want to know what naughty is to him? He told Gypsy that before I met you, I was thinking about going on the BDSM website and ordering me a chained up slave. That's what naughty is to him. See the difference? Okay, let's continue.
See, me and her used to, from time to time, well, she bought a specific shirt for me that was more like for a...
Oh, this part's important too. So this was something that Gypsy bought him, and you're going to see the difference between her little role play fantasy, whatever, and his. You ready? She bought me...
the Joker, that character.
Joker?
From Batman. And
bought her, she bought him like a Joker shirt.
Apparently she likes playing Harley Quinn,
and she likes playing Harley Quinn.
I'm surprised how good she was at it, because she actually filmed a video on that, and I was like, wow.
I promise you, you know how many women cosplay Harley Quinn in the bedroom? And for a lot of other things. That's the kind of fantasy Gypsy had. That's pretty normal.
She made me pretty convinced that it was her. That she was doing it.
What was she doing?
She had the right tone of voice. I mean, it was all spot on. It was all spot on. If you've ever seen it in the movies with Harley Quinn in it, it was right spot on, literally. I was like, wow.
She obviously really watched.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently that, I guess that was part of our relationship, and one element to it right there was that we had that kind of connection like the Joker and Harley Quinn did. I mean, another combination that we did talk about from time to time, what was it? A little more towards the direction of Disney. It was,
we know about this.
Bella and the Beast, or Beauty and the Beast. That's another one. She's very stuck for that also for me.
And
wait, you heard what he said? Go back. You see how he keeps on saying, for me, for me?
And who?
She's very stuck for that also for me.
She dressed up for that also for me. For me. It's always for him.
And who is when she was the prince, like what she was using, were you the Beast?
Yep, I was the Beast. However, she, I was actually surprised that she looked in the yellow dress. I was actually very surprised.
And what about some of her other kind of, some pictures have kind of come out of her as like a little
And look,
girl,
y'all, I want you to notice this. He lies right here. You have to think, when it comes to just like in the interrogation room, he would kind of like walk on little eggshells when it came to like the sexual stuff that was questionable. He's about to lie about the picture of her with the knife. He's about to lie.
And then her, like with a knife, like keeping a knife or something. What about those? Were they different personalities too?
Those, the one with the knife, that had to do with, no, you mentioned that.
You see? No, right. He does it. He's like, oh, the one that no, and then he mumbles something, and look.
That was more along the lines of Harley Quinn.
That was more along the lines of Harley Quinn. No, it wasn't. Harley Quinn is not red and black. That wasn't Harley Quinn. And he knows that. I promise you, he knows that.
Yeah.
But you want to know why he doesn't probably mention that? Because that's the character that he needed her to create to match his evil side. Demona, Ruby, any of those dark. There's two of them, and I'm pretty sure Demona is the one that wore the red and black. It's also in the transcripts. You should go to my YouTube since Into the Weeds doesn't want to play it.
Okay, okay. She had like red and black hair, I think.
And you see, that's why she comes back and says this. Okay, right, okay. She had like red and black hair. Because that's not Harley Quinn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, no.
Mm-hmm. And so was it kind of quite, was that sort of like role play was that sexual or was it quite innocent?
Yeah, it had a sexual twist to it, but at the same time, I have to admit, she definitely enjoys role playing. That's one thing I've noticed.
You see, she definitely enjoys role playing. That's one thing I noticed. She grew up, when I grew up, whatever, in her old, like her teenage years, going to Vision Con, like, that was her life, like dressing up like different characters. Of course, she's gonna like that. There is a difference between that and making videos telling someone how they're going to grape them. And the thing is Into the Weeds decided to play that video the other day without playing the one that comes before it. The one where Nick tells her, you know how she starts that video and she's like, hi, my master, whatever, I'm making this video that Sir Nick or whatever commanded me to make. Yeah. A responsible person that requests FOIA sends a FOIA request, puts things in chronological order so you can understand it the way it happened. And he told her to make a video and tell him how she would grape him. I don't know if y'all noticed, but when she answered that, you want to know what Gypsy said? How I would grape you? I could tie you to a chair. I could tie you to a bed. I could tie you to something. That was it. That is her idea. That's all that came to her mind when she was telling him how she would grape him. Now, if you know anything about what it's like, not to trigger anybody, someone who has fantasies of that could probably be a little bit more detailed, right? That was the detail she gave. That's what she said. But when Nick describes it, he goes in. Really? One second. I hate when this does this. Fucking press play. Recent. How annoying is that? Oh, its name is copy. Let me just research it. Let me just search it up. Copy. Oops. What 0? That's so annoying. It like will pause and not want to play again. Hold on one second, y'all. My bad. Fucking play. Oh wait, let me move it to desktop. That's how I could do this. Okay, here we go. Fucking stupid thing. One thing I hate about Mac. Okay, there we go. My bad.
Of the other traits that she had was just the fact
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed the touch with her at the same time. Yeah, I actually asked her.
Sexual or was it quite innocent?
Here we go.
Yeah, it had a sexual twist to it, but at the same time,
Oops.
I have to admit, she definitely enjoys role playing. That's one thing I've noticed. I actually asked her.
I actually asked her.
Around the time that me and her were still talking on the internet before I got a chance to meet her yet, I remember asking her if she enjoyed cosplay.
He was asking her if she enjoys the cosplay.
And apparently she was into that too. So she was into the whole role-playing thing, whether it's cosplay or role-playing in any specific character. And apparently she likes the adventure that comes with it. Yes.
So it kind of came into all aspects of her life and
this boy is important.
Yep. I think that was one thing that drew me more to her than most of the other traits that she had was just the fact that she was adventurous. She was willing to take varying risky things.
She was willing to take varying risky things. Does it sound like she's grooming him? I don't think so. Because if she was willing to take varying risky things. Meaning, who's presenting the risky thing? Him. She was willing to take this fucking thing.
Okay. I'm doing stuff risky and
she was willing to take chances on doing the risk. So she was willing, and you know what? That's one thing Gypsy always told me. When it came to the things that she wasn't into or that she didn't necessarily want to do, she did it to pacify him because she just wanted him to love her. That's what she wanted. That's all she wanted. Just like she told that girl, it's in Megan's thought catalog. The girl that knew her, that was at Dan's house the night she ran away. She said that Gypsy told her all she wanted to do was be a real girl and fall in love. That's what Gypsy told her. So that's what Gypsy was doing. Gypsy was, I'm not saying she never enjoyed anything sexual. What 20-something-year-old wouldn't? But the things that were not something that she's ever been into or used to, she did it to pacify him because she wanted to accept that part of him so he can love her. And you don't have to believe that, but you can listen to his words, and the proof is right there in front of you.
You kind of added to more of like an element of romance, I guess you could say. That's the reason why when you brought up Romeo and Juliet before, that's the reason why that whole aspect of it all comes into play.
From like you meeting on a Christian dating site to this kind of like slightly
this part right here,
sexual or like the quite naughty pictures that she would send you. How does it go from, because obviously a Christian dating site is probably the last place you would imagine to find somebody who wants to dress in like a bikini and stuff and send you pictures. Do you think?
Well, the thing is, she was originally innocent.
She was what? She was what, y'all? She was fucking what? She was originally innocent. What the fuck did he say? Let's repeat it for the ones in the back. For the ones in the fucking back.
In like a bikini and stuff and send you pictures. Do you think?
Well, the thing is, she was originally innocent. Once, me and her, it was after.
Oh no, Gypsy, Gypsy, I'm so glad you're here. Because Nick is telling the truth that these people don't want to believe is true. Because did y'all just hear that? Oh, well, originally, she was innocent. The innocent, sweet little... Yeah, you heard him, right? I didn't say that. Gypsy didn't say that. Nick said that. Yeah. This is why Into the Weeds, after this clip, was like, oh, I definitely didn't think this was the clip. They weren't going to play this one, y'all. Because that's what they're doing. They're not playing all the clips. But we're lucky, and her son had to play him from all the way where he was in a whole different place, and he messed up.
What was it? That's when it's right after we said our goodbyes from the.
Listen to what he says right here.
When I went home from that, that's when she was a completely more, I guess you could say, sexualized person.
That's when she, I was completely more, I guess you could say, a sexualized person Who did that to her? Nick. Nick made her a more sexualized person, he's calling it. Not the other way around. So are y'all gonna stop, I don't know, saying that Gypsy is gonna do something to her fucking daughter? Because if you can't read from this, who's the one that's feeding her this shit like that? Nick. Nick. Not Gypsy, Nick. Maybe if Into the Weeds would show y'all everything, like a responsible true crime podcast, that would happen. Y'all can laugh all y'all want. Y'all laughing because y'all feel stupid. Y'all are laughing because you feel dumb. If you look at the proof right in front of your face and you still don't want to accept it, that makes you ignorant. I'm not gonna argue with you. You're just ignorant. And you're mad because for what, 2 years you've been running around like a dumbass, making accusations and bullying someone when you don't know shit about shit.
It's because I think that's what made the big difference is the fact that I took her virginity. Once I took her virginity, it made her so much more widely open on the sexual topics.
When I took her virginity, it made her more widely open on sexual topics. Does that sound like she groomed him? No. It sounds like perhaps the other fucking way around. Let's not forget, Nick, you can have autism and not be dumb as a box of fucking rocks, okay? Nick had Nick lived in the world, not Gypsy. I took her virginity and it made her much more widely open on sexual topics. Interesting.
Yeah.
That makes sense, doesn't it? Because she's sort of like more experienced in that area now.
Yeah.
More experienced in that area now.
All of the pictures and stuff started, so it was after the. It sort of was quite innocent until after the cinema, would you say?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that's pretty.
And you see, this part's important. So it was innocent. Now, innocence and Nick it's a very fine line. The things that got worse was after that. The videos you see, you have to watch the timestamps. I don't know if she's telling y'all the timestamps, but that last stretch of like 5 months is when things intensed a lot more. And if you actually follow the timeline and watch things in chronological order, you would know that. But instead, y'all have been invalidating this girl for this whole time. And all y'all had to do was fucking at least wait for this or read the transcripts that have been out.
The only thing was, though, is that before and after we did the actual.
Oh wait, this part I'm giving y'all context. This part is y'all need to listen. Don't go below the surface. This part is so. Just listen.
A Cinderella movie. Before and after that, we ended up still having to deal with arguments from time to time. So really, even though she became more sexualized afterward.
Became more sexualized afterward.
The arguments were still very much.
What sort of arguments? What do you mean? Like, so it didn't stop the arguments? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't stop it. And actually, it made it kind of worse for her because once I took her virginity, she ended up.
Once I took her virginity.
What's the word I'm trying to think of? It went from just wanting me to really like needing me. I mean,
that part. I don't know if y'all understand how deep that part is. She went from just wanting me to really needing me. Like that attachment that she grew. She already from that long distance relationship was like she wanted to be with him, but she experienced something like new that she never got to experience before. And at that point, the reason they were arguing more, and you'll learn, and if you actually listen to the text messages and actually read them from the front to the back, not cherry pick them, you would see the progression of the ups and downs they were having, the pulls and the pull and tug, and Gypsy, like the video that Into the Weeds doesn't want to play or read, when Gypsy gets, she apologizes to Nick for getting upset with him because she feels like he only wants sex. She apologized to him for that. She shouldn't have had to apologize for being worried that's all he wants. Like, And now she's struggling with the whole wanting and needing, and he's about to say something else next.
It's over so nuts to the point where you had the sexual desire there, then you had the feelings of love bubbling up inside of her and everything else. They're just getting too much for her, where that's the reason why the arguments would start out. And then it didn't help at all either when like,
See, and if you're a woman, you understand what the fuck he's talking about. When you start to talk to a guy, like if this don't make sense to y'all, then y'all ain't never been in a relationship before. You want to be with them, and then you give them something of you, and then you start feeling like you need them, and then Gypsy and him are still arguing. If y'all read along the text messages, and Gypsy, stop me if I'm wrong, but I know that I'm not because I read it the way that you're supposed to. She at that point is even thinking deeper in her head, like, I really love this guy, like, but does he love me, or does he just want me to like do this stuff? And they start to argue about that. And if you read both the transcripts, not just Gypsy's, you would see that, you would hear that. That's what Gypsy's afraid of. One of the last things she sends him before he gets to the house was, I hope you love Gypsy too. Not just because he's talking about Ruby. I hope you love Gypsy too. That was the confliction. And if you're a woman, I'm not saying men can't go through this, but especially women go through this. We start to, like, once we fall in love with that person, really, once we give them a piece of us, we start to struggle back and forth. Even though Gypsy didn't live in the world, guess what? She's still a human being, and it's natural. It's a natural thing that happens. And if y'all can't see that, and if y'all want to still go on with this narrative, y'all just going to stay ignorant and do that, because I ain't arguing with you. Like, I'm so glad that Into the Weeds accidentally played this.
I always had to constantly defend me from her mom also.
Mm-hmm.
This part's too.
When after you met in the cinema, did her mum, then Gypsy started like openly talking to you, and that's when her mum got angry, because obviously before the cinema she didn't know you two knew each other, but then after you've met each other, Gypsy didn't hide the fact that she was talking to you. Is that right?
Not necessarily. That's the thing. I don't know why. I think it was just her mom had a suspicion that I was talking to her. She couldn't prove it, but she had a suspicion. And because she always got offline way before her mom could catch her online.
You heard that? She always got offline way before her mom could catch her online. Y'all like how you making these videos with your mom there. Y'all didn't see the timestamps on the things? Her mom wasn't there. Gypsy would be left home by herself when her mom would run errands. Think about... That's how much it's so important to understand Stockholm Syndrome, or the fear of leaving. Y'all know the story of the woman that was abducted, and she had to like stay in this box. And she was so groomed, and she had Stockholm Syndrome that to the point where this man let her go visit her family. And guess what? She came back by herself. She went and visited her family, and then she came back to him. Her mom knew that she wasn't gonna leave. Her mom knew. And y'all wanted to know how she makes those videos, what Nick just said. She always got offline way before her mom could catch her online. There's your answer, because y'all always believe Nick, so there you go.
Every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason why she only had a suspicion on it, but could never could prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But she must be like, yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, that's what she originally wanted, just because she knew that stuff would get totally out of control if she didn't do that, with keeping it discreet. And
should a 24-year-old, 23-year-old ever have to keep a relationship with their boyfriend discreet? No, they shouldn't.
Part of the reason why she kept it discreet is she knew that if her mom got way more involved than she already was trying to be suspicious about, she knew that it would get out of control, and once it got out of control, her mom would try to scare me off. Ironically, her mom already did try to scare me off at one time, but it didn't work.
What, when she was trying to shout at you down the phone and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. That's what she was trying to do. Yeah.
If you remember which cinema you went to, do you remember the name of it?
All I remember is it was on Battlefield Road. And that, and the only other thing I know about it is it's apparently the only one that has an IMAX in the city, apparently.
Okay. Because I think I'm going to go and see if I can check it out. So, and when you went to the house that night, and you were talking to me about
This part's important for those of you
When I
who
was
think,
like-
oh, a gypsy tried to set up Nick. Well, Nick's about to tell you that's not true.
back to our conversations that we've had. I just want to say how really good you are at talking. I think that you have a really good well, you're really good at sort of telling a story back from an event that's happened to you.
Yeah, he's pretty
So,
articulate.
That's always really good for us because it means you'll be a great interviewee. But I wanted to get a little bit of clarification about the knife. Did you bring that with you, or is that something that Gypsy handed to you when you came in?
I believe that was handed to me, and that's what I remember. I mean, that was planned way, 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 way in the future. She's the one who came up with that, but I don't know why she came up with that because that's when she put her own fingerprints on those.
You heard him? I don't know why she came up with that because that's when she put her own fingerprints on the weapon.
So that's probably when I was confused on it. But apparently, she was okay with it as long as mine weren't on it. Apparently.
Apparently, she was okay with it as long as mine weren't on it. No, Gypsy was trying to not have his fingerprints on there. That would mean that she was trying to not set him up.
Wait, she saw it.
Mm-hmm. And so
You know how silly that sounds, Miles Smiley? Doesn't matter. She's exposed. Exposed for what? Exposed for what? This debunks what Into the Weeds is showing. If you're not going to watch it in order, then you don't really care about the truth. Okay, moving along.
had you been texting each other just before you went to the house?
Exactly.
And what would you, like, were you outside the house messaging each other?
Yeah, I pretty much let her know that I was there. And then after I let her know, that's when she opened the door, and then it all pretty much progressed from there as normal. I'm just trying to be careful on here since I'm aware of it being monitored.
Sure. Yeah, no. I understand. I respect that. I'm just trying to understand. You obviously have to be careful with what you say. And like I said before, you shouldn't tell me anything you haven't told like your attorney. So if I am asking questions that you think you don't want to talk about, you should just tell me.
Yeah. The thing is that I'll be a little bit more open when you actually come here to interview. Yeah. My icebreaker's kicking in again. Yeah. When you come here to interview me in person, and you actually film, it's just me knowing my other half, I guess. Or I actually kind of knew she was going to do that. I don't know how I knew she was going to do that, but I just did. To the point where, that's part of the reason why I ended up, even though I felt like I was being forced to tell the truth when I was talking.
Now, this point, y'all, I need y'all to listen to really good because this is when you could tell that he has been working with the defense team, of course, like anybody would if they're in prison. And first it says I felt like I was forced to tell the truth. And I want y'all to really listen of how Nick presents the next few sentences. It's so, not calculated. It's very well thought out. Just, he's working in the defense that they're gonna try to use. That's what you're gonna hear, which he should be being prepped by his defense attorney by now. But you're gonna be able to hear that through this, how he's being prepped.
Please, I had it all blurred out because two things. One, I wanted to get it all out. And two, I didn't truly understand my rights at the time.
That nervous stuff, I didn't really understand my rights at the time, and listen to what he says.
My rights were violated because I wasn't fully understanding of what my rights were. And that's part of what the law says in America with that whole situation. You have to understand it intelligently and understandingly. And
that's exactly, y'all, it literally says that in the law, it says that you have to understand it intelligently and understand, like, he's being prepped.
Actually, but what I remember from what I actually saw.
But it doesn't apply to me.
Which I actually saw stuff in there that I don't even remember. Apparently, I was under so much stress at the time.
Apparently, I was under so much stress at the time. Like, I'm telling you, this is his defense.
Or duress, should I say?
Duress.
That what happened was that next thing I know is there was certain sections in the video that I watched where I don't remember, but other sections I do. That's something that my attorney does not even realize. I haven't had a chance to let him know that because I give him a stronger case against the suppression.
You see, that's even a strong. Now that's going to be even a stronger case against the suppression. That you see how the lingo he's using and how he's wording it.
However, I guess that only speaks more on the reason why. I guess you could say that I feel. I know she was victimized, but I feel that I was victimized in a sense too, due to the fact that the police made me speak more than I originally was going to want to speak.
This sentence, I'm not gonna lie, made me laugh a little bit. The police made me speak more than I originally was going to want to speak. I think anybody who's guilty could say that, right? Like, I'm not laughing to make fun of him. I'm laughing because, like, I feel you. Like, because ain't that what always ends up happening? They grow you into. The police made me speak more than I originally was going to want to speak. Like, that sentence was so fucking real, y'all. Like, I feel
it. They use the whole narrative of it being best for Gypsy's sake. And unfortunately,
you notice how he said the narrative be like, I'm telling y'all.
I think selflessly. When it comes to the people that I care about the most, I think that way. And that's part of the reason why I was more concerned about her stuff than my own. And by the time I realized what I did is way too late.
Basically, what he's saying is he wishes he would have not told all the truth, which that's fine. That's fine. No guilty person wants to.
Well, that just shows that you're a nice person, right? You probably, obviously, you love her, and so you're really worried about her. And, yeah, that can make a complicated situation even more complicated.
Exactly. Because I didn't get the chance to actually talk so many times. I think if I ever get the chance to look at the video.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
That went by quick.
It's always really quick, isn't it? And also, it's so weird how it just sort of completely, I don't know if it does the same for you, but it completely mutes my call.
I wish the call would have never ended right there, y'all, because I think I knew what he was about to say. Because that's another thing that his defense said at the trial was they numbered the times that he asked about Gypsy. And I don't know, we'll never know. But I'm telling you, if you watch his trial, I'm telling you, the whole lineup of everything he just said is like literally exactly what they use in a trial for his defense, which is, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You could tell that that's what a defense attorney is going to do, is they're going to help prep you for when you do go to trial. And he was there was so many times the trial was pushed back because he kept on he changed his mind between whether he wanted a jury trial or a judge to decide, but, and then that last thing that he said, I have to watch again and count how many times, and they literally say how many times he mentions Gypsy while he's in there. And he just, right before that, he just said, the whole narrative that I was just thinking about Gypsy or whatever. Like, I could be wrong, though. That's a theory. Doesn't mean I'm right.
So should we arrange another time to talk?
Sure.
We can either talk before I leave, or we could maybe arrange a time at the end of next week, and we could speak when I can try and get, actually, do you know what?
Yeah.
I need to try and get an American number. Why don't you just give me a call on Wednesday,
okay.
And then we can catch up, and I can talk to you.
Just wait till you see their reaction.
I'm trying to get my new number to you.
Hello. Okay, so that was
Interesting.
it was definitely not the audio I thought it was going to be. So I can't remember what number it was.
They were like, and look, and then this girl starts speaking. I can go to it to show you. She's like, I don't, it was a little muffled. Like, they thought, like, they almost, nobody, only she says something pretty much. Nobody else in every single other clip that they play, because of course if they use something that either they don't show a previous video for it, or something that it can easily be twisted, they're all talking over each other. But they play this video where Nick straight up says it was him. All these things, all this sexual stuff, all who it was influenced by was him. He literally even said the words, thank you. He even said the words, Gypsy, originally Gypsy was innocent. Like, and they don't even know. They're speechless.
Hey, Bree, I don't want to
Yes.
interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I really just came up here for show solidarity and support, but can you replay the part where he said she was innocent, please?
Oh yeah.
For
And
people
when
that-
I'm innocent, not by, of this murder, by the way, y'all. Innocent meaning like in the sexual, like she was an innocent, like a, like she was innocent, like a sweet little innocent, Christian girl. But let's see, arguments. Pretty accurate. Makes sense. Was it right here? No, it was past this.
Before and after the
Didn't hide the fact that didn't hide.
No.
So when did
and trying to stop it, and admitted kind of the argument before. So
Okay, I think it's right before this.
on the sexual topic.
Yeah.
in like the pictures that she
Okay, I think it's right after this.
So how did it turn from
Right
like,
here.
you meeting on a Christian dating site to this kind of like slightly sexual or like the quite naughty pictures that she would send you? How does it go from, because obviously a Christian dating site is probably the last place you would imagine to find somebody who wants to dress in like a bikini and stuff and send you pictures. Do you think?
Well, the thing is, I mean, she was originally innocent. I mean, once me and her, it was after me and her actually did, what was it? It's right after we said our goodbyes from the Cinderella movie. When I went home from that, that's when she was a completely more, I guess you could say sexualized person. It's because I think that's what made the big difference is the fact that I took her virginity. Once I took her virginity, it made her so much more widely open on the sexual topics. Yeah.
So that makes sense, doesn't it? Because she's sort of like more experienced in that area now.
Yeah.
And so is that when all of
This
the
next
pictures
part,
and
and then I'll
stuff
stop it,
started?
because
was
this
after
part's
the-
too.
It sort of was quite innocent until after the cinema, would you say?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. The only thing was though is that before and after we did the actual Cinderella movie, before and after that, we ended up still having to deal with arguments from time to time. So really, even though she became more sexualized afterward, the arguments were still very much.
It's like he thought that would fix it.
What sort of arguments? What do you mean? Like, so it didn't stop the arguments? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't stop it. And actually, it made it kind of worse for her because once I took her virginity, she ended up, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It went from just wanting me to really, like, needing me. I mean, it drove her.
That part right there, man. She went from just wanting me to needing me. That's why, y'all, I promise y'all, anyone in here that's supportive of Gypsy, ignore any negative comments, because they're just, this is the thing, when you go for almost 2 years with a narrative that this very articulate, very sexual, very much experienced and all of that, because he watched it constantly, person was, I don't know, groomed by Gypsy to do those things, and then, so when you go on and you like are attacking people in this video that Into the Weeds didn't even mean to play, and you get told basically that you're wrong, it's a pride thing, y'all. It's a pride to ego. They don't want to suck up their pride and just admit that they were wrong. It's hard for people to do that. So don't let the negative comments discourage you, because that's just ignorance and pride. Debunk the V-card allegations. Who do you think she lost her? Do y'all think... Do you know that Dan and her only met, and other than at the convention, only met in person one time? And he had just gotten to... He literally... I actually have the the message that he sent to someone that I know that sent to me that tells me the exact injury he had. He had a spinal injury. You think they were bumping uglies when he had a spinal injury? Gypsy didn't have schmecks with Dan. This is what happens when y'all don't do research. Debunk the V. And who comes on the internet and tells somebody to debunk their V? Like, it's none of your business who she lost her virginity to, you fucking weirdos. Why did she say what? Why did she say what? I know I'm getting my information from Gypsy. No, I just got my information from Nick. What do you mean? Gypsy hasn't spoken. That was Nick speaking. I know, I have a deep voice. Maybe you thought that was me, but it was actually Nick. I'm sorry about that. My voice is a little today too. So no, oh, I'm sorry. That was me, not me talking. That was Nick talking. Okay, sweetheart. But lied about what? Why did she say what? If you know so much, then who took it? She's already explained this. And it's none of your business who took a V card. And she already explained it also. Wait, but Bubbles, so are you saying that Nick is lying? She manipulated him into doing that. What do you mean? He just said that he was the one that did it. In the beginning, she said she's not all sweet and innocent. He said it was his idea. He was the one. I'm sorry. Did you miss that part? You must have missed the beginning.
I mean, we both were totally okay with it.
This part right here, ready?
Yeah, I mean, she was doing it for me, but at the same time,
she was doing it for me.
Wanted to do it just because something new for her to do, so she's not used to doing the naughty stuff for me.
Something new for her to do since she's not used to doing naughty stuff. She did it for... You see that? Oh, you didn't hear that. You must have been in here earlier. But it's okay. And actually, it's when he says right here, oh yeah, she was already, however... Oh, here we go. However...
Yeah, she was. However, all the photos and all that stuff.
Oh, that's the part I just read.
More,
But yeah, she did it for him. Literally tells you right there, she did it for him. And then he goes on to say she was innocent. She was innocent. Originally, she was innocent. Like, when I first met her, she was an innocent woman. An innocent little, like... I don't want to say girl, but I guess you could say girl. I mean, she was an adult. And he said it was after she lost her virginity to me that she became more open sexually to set more sexual topics. He's in that she was willing to do risky, that means that he wasn't groomed by her sexually. Like, y'all don't make any sense. And I'm sorry, I know it's a pride thing. You're wrong. And y'all have been saying all these disgusting things to her for how long? Oh, I know what the problem is. Y'all want to hear people's stories, and y'all want, like, true crime is so interesting to y'all, and y'all want all victims and their families to speak so y'all can be entertained. And then once they do it and you hear it, you're like, okay, go away. Stop making money off of the crime. Like, you see how y'all do that? Because you know what? People do it. Y'all know y'all talk shit about Melissa Moore all the time. The same thing with her. She was the daughter of a serial schmiller, and you know how many people were interested in, like, oh my God, like, we want to hear your story of, like, talk to this person. And then she did it. And guess what? Now people always hate on her. Like, she's making money off of his crimes. If people are going to use you for if people are going to use your trauma for entertainment, why shouldn't that person walk into that opportunity since shit, y'all are using them? That's the problem. It's a societal issue that maybe y'all need to sit back and reflect on. Y'all love true crime. Do y'all know that if it wasn't for victims and their families, y'all wouldn't have shit to watch that y'all love to watch so much? But that's what y'all do. Y'all get the story, how much you want of it, and then you want to switch it up a little bit. And then when you're done with their version of the story, you want to shame them and tell them that they're making money off of the crime that you wanted to hear about. So, and that's on some real shit. And you know, if you can't admit that that's not the fucking truth, that's because you're just ignorant. You don't want to admit it. Because let's tell the truth. You're in here right now because you see Gypsy in here, right? That's why you're in here. That's why when Gypsy goes live, people are going to come, right? Because if y'all don't give a fuck about her and you don't care about her story or what she has to say, y'all wouldn't come. Y'all want the entertainment, but y'all don't want the entertainment to be profited. Can't have the cake and eat it too. If you don't want to watch Gypsy, don't watch her. She can post about fucking cake pops and y'all like, she's making money off her crime. But that ends. That's over with.
Can I say something, Bree? I just don't want to interrupt you.
No,
That's
you can
all.
interrupt me anytime you want.
Okay, I said this last night. I want to say it again for people that didn't hear it. The law speaks of something called malice of forethought, okay? It's you can call it premeditation, all right? The best way to determine mental deficiency, because I keep seeing people saying he was autistic. When
So is
you
Elon Musk.
when you cover up a crime or participate in the cover up, you understand that you did something wrong. And the law looks at, did this you'd be blown away. Bree, first of all, just gave a good example. Elon Musk is autistic. All right, he's one of the most brilliant people, whether you like him or not. And I'm going to tell you something too. Second point, and I'll shut up. Let me tell you something about Bree with the facts. This is why I fucking love this girl, because she's going to find the truth, and she doesn't care where it lays. If she had found truth where this went the other way, I guarantee you she would have stood on it. And she's going to find the truth. And that is the thing I love about her a lot. Not the only thing, but one of the things. When we were dealing with the triangle situation last weekend, Bree didn't care where the truth lay. She only wanted the truth.
What triangle thing?
The whole Zora Madison Amber thing.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just wanted the damn truth. And you found the truth. And I love you for that. I just got to say that. Credit to you. Props to you for that.
I'm glad I continued watching. I don't even know, because everybody, the Discord had backed out of the stream, and like I decided to just put my headphones in while I was working, and I was just like, what in the actual fuck did this? And like I thought, oh my god, she has some integrity. She's actually playing a video, and then I saw that clip at the end where she's like, definitely did not think that was the audio. And I'm like, oh no, it was an accident. Because she couldn't, she wasn't going to scream stop in the middle, you know? So she was just sitting back there. But I also want to say I got another clip, but I have to trade off. I have to go give my mom her car. But, so we could just talk while I'm doing that. But, I have another, if y'all think he's so autistic, let me tell you what Nick, when this lady called to, talk about You know, the interview he mentions, and y'all, I know he's talking about Fancy Maselli. He's like, yeah, my dad, somebody reached out to my dad. It's an independent producer. She's creating a drama series. Okay, talking about Fancy. Well, then he's like, he acts like, I do have one question for you. So as far as like royalties, if I set up an account in my dad's name, he's trying to see a way that he can profit from the crime. Like he does this himself. Now, y'all, he is trying to like beat the system, pretty much beat the system. He's asking them, can you just give it to my dad, but it'll be for me, you know, but you're gonna give it to my dad? Like compensate me, like the royalties from like this, because it'll be at least you know, I'll get something. Like, oh, how he says, get something for it. And I'm thinking, like, that's what he was focused on, is how much money like how he can make money from this. See, y'all can't judge Gypsy's her documentaries aren't just about a crime. It's about her story too, her abuse. Life After Lockup, I mean, it was Life After Lockup, wasn't even about the crime. It was about her life. If y'all can sit here and talk about this girl profiting off the crime, but Nick's over there trying to make a deal with this woman, watch when I get back and y'all hear it. Because I was just like, and he's like, oh, well, I figured, you know, since it won't be in my name. Like, he just straight up, and the woman, she was just like, it was so awkward because she was just like, oh shit, like, no. And she's like, and he was like, oh, well, I thought, you know, since it'll be in his name, and she's like, no, but not, well, the thing is, you're telling me that on a recorded line, that's illegal. And so, yeah, that was the one question he had for her. How I'm gonna get paid for this? So everybody's like, Nick never got to tell his story. Nick was talking to multiple different people to be able to tell his story. So no, that's not true that they didn't try to get Nick's side or Nick's whatever. And actually, his side would have benefited Gypsy. Like, imagine if they would have used, like, you can hear what he's saying on this. Imagine if he would have got to be interviewed in the documentaries that Gypsy was in and they asked him questions. Like, I mean, that would benefit Gypsy. Y'all would already know this years ago. Now, y'all have already been fed all the misinformation. So when y'all see the truth, y'all don't want to believe it, because I know it's hard to accept when you've been wrong. Okay? So if Nick would have actually got to be in these documentaries, y'all would probably not be treating Gypsy the way y'all treating her today. So I promise you, it fucks her over more than him. It actually benefited him. Because if y'all hear some of the stuff that this dude says, it'll blow you away. You're like, he's not dumb. He's not fucking dumb. Look how the way that he described y'all, if that don't describe exactly how, especially a woman gets when they're in a relationship and then you give yourself to that person, it becomes more complicated. Gypsy was becoming like, you know, like, you start to get conflicted, like, is this guy with me for sex, or does he love me? Like, the way that he describes that, he knows exactly what he's talking about. And then not only that, you can tell at the end that he's been being prepped by his defense team, and he does it pretty well when he talks about it, even though he doesn't do a good job at because to me, I know that's what that's from. He doesn't do a good job acting like it's his own just like thoughts in the moment. It's something that he's been learning, and what he's going to use as a defense, which they do try to use that as a defense. Nick's not stupid. Just because he has different he might act different socially, or he might think a little bit differently than people, doesn't mean he's dumb. It just means that his mind is different. When the psychiatrist that had to test him for like these it's just like questions like would you ever leave a burning candle in the house, stuff like that, or like if a child was to take found this medication and take it, he would answer questions like that. Or if you had to decide if you had taken this medication, like, it was like some questions that you had to really think about. And I'm telling y'all, his answers, because I was answering them in my head as they were going over the questions before they would say his answer. And y'all, 8 out of 10 times, his answer was way better than mine. He's not stupid. Y'all just never watched his trial, most of y'all. I know y'all haven't. Because y'all wouldn't want, for one, be saying something was planned for over 2 years when the trial, both the prosecution and the defense both said 1 year. Y'all wouldn't think that he's stupid. And you know what? I think Nick would fucking be pissed if he thought that if he knew y'all thought he was stupid. Because he's not. And point blank period, I'm actually gonna stop not even over explaining. I'm gonna stop explaining because literally that video you can go find on Into the Weeds. You can go find it yourself and hear Nick tell you realized her was innocent. That's not the way that she just naturally thought. That's not the way that she came at him. And y'all need to learn. Some of y'all must have very boring sex lives because y'all don't even know the difference between different kind of role playing, BDSM. BDSM is not always, role playing is not always BDSM. Like, if you role play something that's, not BDSM, then it's not BDSM. Like, do y'all not understand that? Like, just if you play like fucking superhero, like a superhero, like that doesn't mean it's gonna be BDSM. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel bad for some of y'all. I think some of y'all have boring sex lives. It's pretty evident because
I do.
I'm sure you never always have. No, I'm just saying because some of the things that people have been talking about, it's like, so that's not even like, so what? And then the things that are huge that people are talking about, they're not getting the whole context of it. They're not seeing any of his videos. She hasn't the Into the Weeds, literally, she titles all her lives lately, Nick jail phone calls with only his pictures on the video, on the thumbnail, but yet she mostly shows Gypsy videos. And in my opinion, okay, y'all that are in here, if y'all want to know the truth, if y'all don't care about the truth, you don't have to answer this. But if you actually do, like, you sincerely want to know the truth, like you want to know whether you've been thinking all this and it's wrong, wouldn't you want someone who has requested this, that people donated money to? Remember this, some of y'all have donated y'all's money, but some of y'all did it just to try to humiliate Gypsy, right? I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the ones that did it because they want to know the truth. Y'all would think that y'all would want this woman to take the time to sort through every single last one of those videos and put them in chronological order and then show them just like that and no different from front to back, start to finish, from one to the last one. If y'all don't care how she shows them, then y'all don't care about the truth. Because you have to think, if you see video 6, but video 3 has a lot of context to video 6, which would fuck it all up, why would you want to see 6 first if you know that it's going to put into your mind something that 3 would explain? And I don't understand why you would want it that way. The ones who don't care, that's because this is entertainment for y'all. Y'all aren't actually fans of true crime. Y'all are fans of being entertained and fans of bullying people and humiliating them and harassing them. Because while y'all are doing all of this and threatening to call like CPS on Gypsy, yeah, because of something that y'all don't understand or don't care to look into deeper, y'all gonna threaten to try to take a child away from a fucking amazing mom and try to put her into a fucked up system because y'all don't want to be responsible and actually listen to somebody who knows the truth, or, oh, better yet, move the fuck on. Y'all saw the proof right there. Go to Into the Weeds last live if you weren't here. Nick himself said to every single question that woman asked him when it came to anything sexual of where it originated from, him, not Gypsy. And again, Into the Weeds was shocked as fuck at the end of that video because they did not mean to play that one. Why? Because they are riding a clout train. They are getting clout from this. Why do you think it's so important to them? Make sure you credit me. Make sure you I'm gonna put my fucking watermarks on it. I hope y'all don't forget, like, they requested it, but y'all paid for it. Y'all paid for it. So why is she being so hard up over it? Y'all paid for it. She just requested it. So calm the fuck down, Amber. That you sound like fancy when she talks about Gypsy's records. She's like, my records, Bitch, those are not your records, you weirdo. Those are Gypsy records. Like, I heard her the other night. She's like, yo, every time I talk about my records, you're delusional. My records. But yeah. And I know that I'm getting loud because it's just, I'm excited, y'all. If y'all think I'm mad, I'm not. I'm actually, dude, when I saw this video, I was like, you gotta be.
The
And y'all,
question that I couldn't get through the comments, Bree. That's why I came up.
oh yeah,
Um,
go ahead.
the what about the other video where Nick's giving instructions and he says that this is in addition to what I already told you to say in your video? I
Oh,
wanted to see if you was gonna play that one tonight.
oh yeah, I can. I keep on, I'm
I'm
preparing for
sorry, I'm on
whatever.
a treadmill.
No, oh, look at you working on your fitness. I met a boy down at the disco. Okay, I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, my keys are in the car, but we can just discuss while I'm on the ride. But no, it's just it when that what I know I'm not gonna forget. What I know, but there was another video that I'll play y'all when I get back. It was at the end of that live, and I was actually surprised that they even played that because it's like Nick, like straight up, like trying to be like, so we're gonna talk about that money, like what's up with that? Like it was just wild. And then I gotta let y'all hear. So y'all listen to all of that. Now, why in the world did this woman? Because I told y'all it was like just silent. It was like crickets, and then 18 whatever millennial whatever I fucking name it 1980 millennial. She thoughts and she's like, it's weird to me that you notice he talks about role play, and we know, like, she says something about Dan, and then she also obviously doesn't understand the difference between role play and not always BDSM, but anywho, and then I'm gonna have to I don't want to say it wrong. She doesn't know what to say, and they feel stupid. I promise you, I know they felt stupid, because they heard the same thing we heard, and so she just started pulling things out of her ass to say the most minute, like, doesn't even matter, points. Like, oh wait, my mom came and got her car herself. Oh, okay, never mind.
Bree, can I say one thing?
Yes, girl, you can cut me off at any time. Girl, it's about you.
I'm just here to support you. But I just want to make a point that I never even so much as open mouth kissed Dan. The first kiss I ever had in my life was a peck from Dan. I was literally in his bed. If I wanted to do anything schmexual, it would have been then. So I just want to make that clear. I never even touched him in any way sexually or anything. I gave him a peck. So to put into context. So, all right, I'm going to mute again.
Just proved what I was sitting here thinking, Gypsy, because people keep saying in the comments, let Gypsy speak. Gypsy has a voice and she fucking uses it. But what we know, what's been going on with these videos, anything she says, it's going to be cherry picked. Little pieces are going to be taken out. And I mean, we're used to this game, and what you're not going to do is come into the FBI's house and invalidate her. It's not going to happen here.
Yeah, and what you're also not going to do is come into my live and tell me that I'm not allowed to speak. Gypsy knows that she's allowed to speak, for one. For two, Gypsy isn't the one who was watching a video. She had no idea what I was going to even show in this live. So she's probably not talking because this isn't something that Nick sent to her. This was a jailhouse phone call. She has no fucking clue anything about it. So what exactly would she be speaking on all the time that I was speaking and showing you the video and talking about it? This is my live. I came here to explain to you idiots. I'm sorry. Call me right. To some of you idiots and some of you not idiots, what the truth is. Y'all always say that when I'm in Gypsy's live, like, when she's hosting a live, she's mostly the one talking. That's how it usually works. Like, you're live, you tend to talk more. If you don't like it, you don't have to be here. Gypsy knows that she can cut in whenever the fuck she wants, just like anybody else can. I'm so sick of that. Like people acting like I'm not gonna let Gypsy speak. Yeah, I'm holding her hostage in this box. Don't you dare fucking unmute, or you're gonna be in trouble.
Dare do it, Gypsy. She's not playing.
I'm not
To
playing.
address one thing that, look, the whole thing is, we just haven't addressed these videos because we just didn't care because we knew how this was going to be done and it went how we thought. Pieces were going to be taken out. People keep saying this new evidence. This is not new. Like, we've known about a lot of this, but I do want to address the whole, she offered up her daughter when she was 13. Well, if you believe that, you also have to believe vampires are real, but you cut that part out because she also said in that video that they were vampires. So are vampires real? Did she really offer her daughter? I mean, you get what I'm saying? Stop cherry picking pieces that fit your narrative and just drag the truth out into the light. If you're going to come up with this, just drag it all out.
Oh, and also
Where it falls.
the truth is out there, but that's if the people are willing to show it. Because Gypsy got into arguments with Nick about this, by the way. Oh, y'all don't have to believe me. I don't care if y'all believe me. The thing is nothing Gypsy has ever told me has ever been a lie. Every time these Foias come out with information that you can actually hear, every single thing Gypsy has told me from the first conversation I ever had with her has turned out to be true. I don't just base shit off of what Gypsy says. I'm saying that out loud now because of what Nick said. Now I can confirm that. I'm sorry, but if he's the one telling her this and this and this and this, he's the one. Gypsy, he sexualized her. He made her a sexualized person. You think that Gypsy's the one that came up with that idea, but yet he's the one that sexualized her? Like, make that make sense. You think she went from 0 to 100 real quick? You think she went from like, I don't know, wanting cuddles to saying, we're gonna do this to our daughter, like, and then y'all are also lying and saying that on the video she says the name Aurora. Y'all need to stop with that shit because it's also a lie. And actually, I'm gonna prove to y'all right now because that's what I do. I prove shit, and people get mad and they want to be like, "Oh my god, you're too loud, you're too aggressive." Y'all just mad because I have the facts and you don't. Like, I'm who I am, act differently just because y'all mad. Okay, what does that say? Oh my god, I think it says Gabriella. He will be named after Nicholas Paul Godejohn. Like, if we have a son, he'll be named after Nicholas Paul Godejohn Jr. A girl, Gabriella Gypsy. Aurora, no, it doesn't. So y'all can shut that down, because that's a fact. This is a fact, not a theory, not a conspiracy, not a delusion.
Oh.
They just get mad because that's what it is at the end of the day, and I'm not gonna like shut up or act different just because that's what they're mad about. Why else would they be mad? What else? I could not imagine coming into someone's live, hear them saying, not just saying the truth, but showing the truth, and then being mad about it. Like, be salty somewhere else.
Look, you know what? You can cut it out in the comments because I'm going to tell you something about the bitch in the box underneath me. She is strong. She is tough. She walks with her head held high like she should. She walks with grace. And she's a fucking phoenix rising constantly. And I don't care what you think about her. She's our friend. We love her here. And you're not going to talk shit about her, like invalidating her abuse. You do that, you're gone pecaned. I got my eyeballs on you people. Not all of you, but there's some comments that you're not going to do that to her here. Not here, not in this house.
Oh, are y'all just mad because y'all found out not only was she abused by Dee Dee, but also by Nick? Is that what y'all mad about? Yeah, probably so. Because y'all been thinking Nick is just this innocent little sweet person that never had any dark fantasies, even though... Oh, wait, Starlight the other day, and now I can finally, since we got Nick saying this, because I never spoke about these videos. I wasn't going to do that until I had the videos or until I heard a video of Nick telling the truth about Gypsy, which I did. I found it. Well, they played it on accident. But anyway, so, Starlight the other day said, I think Gypsy made up Victor and Timon and all this, blah, blah, blah. Y'all tell us every day, read the Foias. Do you know that in the Foias, there's a page where his psychiatrist says that Nick used Victor in a previous relationship, according to Nick. Nick told him that. So I'm sorry, y'all need to read the Foias. Because it seems like y'all are a little bit behind.
Most of them
Documents from a court. That's what I have to say about the FOIA. People kill me when they read the FOIA, read the FOIA. I'm not reading the Freedom of Information Act. I'm not doing it. I've heard it's like 5,000 pages long. I ain't got time. I'm too lazy. I ain't doing it.
and I don't believe they should release any inappropriate images and stuff like that. But let me tell y'all something. Y'all making fun of my friend's body. Half of y'all wish the body. Half of y'all wish y'all had the body that Gypsy had. Okay.
Clock
Okay.
that shit, Rogie.
Okay.
Clock it.
Period poop, period poop. Just in home, give up.
Clock that.
They do. They wish that they can have their body spread around the internet and still stand as strong as Gypsy does. That's what they wish. They would be gone pecan off the internet is what where the fuck they would be. But you know what that's proof of? A true survivor. She survived worse than y'all. Just remember that.
Still standing. Still standing to tell about it. And I want to tell you something. These people keep saying in my comments, watch the videos, watch the videos, watch the. I'm good. I'm all right. Why would I want to sit and watch my friend in her undergarments? Ruggy, you think I want to sit and watch you in your drawers? I don't. Jeanette, Bree, Bunny, Crystal, Jessica, any of y'all. I don't want to. I would be so weirded out to be sitting there watching videos of y'all in your undergarments. It's weird to me, and I don't want a part of that. So no, I'm good. I don't need to watch the videos. I don't care anyway. I love her now.
Well,
Yeah, I
hey,
want to see
listen.
Ray. Ray's got me. I do want to see Ray. You got me, Ray. I
Listen,
don't care who she was 10 years ago. She's not that person today, and I love her who she is today. That's it. That won't change.
I hardly knew anything about the emails, right? And the reason being, because like you just said, they're my friend's private email. Guess what? I don't want to read them. If Gypsy wants to share something with me, she's going to share it with me. I'm not going to have to read an email to find it out.
Yeah, I didn't read the emails. I didn't care about that either. I'm just not interested. The only thing I'm interested in is the truth, and I think Bree just clocked the shit out of it tonight. So.
Yeah, sorry, I was on the phone. But and I did watch most of the videos that have been put out except for the newest ones. But this is the reason I wasn't going to. But y'all know me, I'm a natural. I like to. I know all the stuff that they're not putting out because the transcripts are like literally on my YouTube. So, and I'm just like, I always want to be like, even if I never ever speak on it, I always just want to be prepared to like, okay, I know they showed this video and I know the video that goes before this type thing. And I'm actually glad I have watched them because I'm telling you, these people, they want to be right so bad that Sheena, if you watch the video and look at the comments, it's like, if you read after you watch the video, if you go to the comment section, you'll think like you're in the wrong comment section because it don't make no, like, it's insane. That's like when Nick was talking in the video the other day and somebody was in the comments said, so insightful. I was dead when they said that. What was insightful? Like, nothing was insightful about what he had said at all. And they just be making up shit. Or they'll be like, oh, look, like, oh, there's this video where Nick's talking about taking the time to spend on a video, and they think that he's saying, look, I spent all this time. No, the reason he's saying that is because, and if I'm wrong, Gypsy, you can correct me, but I remember from the transcripts, he would get on Gypsy about her videos sometimes not being long enough. And he's expressing how, like, this is what you do. You take time. Like, he was naturally, like, demanding and controlling. If you read everything, you would know that. So y'all are all like, look how kind and sweet. That's what happens when you don't watch videos in chronological order, because you don't know him yet. Like, meaning know him through the videos. I know I don't know him personally, but know his patterns and know the way that he articulates himself and know the way that he speaks about things, because y'all would know that he's not trying to, like, be like, yeah, I just working on this video all day because I just love you. I just felt like doing this all day for you because I love you. He's being, like, passive aggressive in a way. Well, I want, maybe not even passive aggressive. Maybe you wouldn't say it like that, but he's basically like, you see, this is what you do. Like, this is how long I spend it on this, because he's constantly telling Gypsy to add, which you could tell from that first video. He even says something about making her videos longer. I want you to make it this long. He tells her that. Y'all just don't listen to those parts. Huh?
It's almost like he's, like, trying to guilt trip her. Like,
Yes, there you go.
type of manipulation.
You said it better than me.
Get what he wants out of her.
Yep. But they don't watch all the video. Well, it's not their fault because they're not the ones that have the videos. It's Into the Weeds' fault. And I heard that all the creators are actually getting a little annoyed with her because she's, like, gatekeeping.
I heard that too.
And everybody's paid for it. I mean,
I know. Which is the most wildest part about it. Like, if your community came together to help you get that, and you just freaking, withhold it from everyone to do with it what you will when everyone pitched in to help you, yeah, like, you're a scumbag. Like, you don't give a fuck about your community.
because she thinks it was so much work filling out papers and shit. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not. It's really not. Like, they had the fundraising stuff. I mean, but, like, they...
No, and I watched them manipulate the video in real time because they was asking, did anybody hear Nick elaborate on how he knew Didi didn't like him? And they all said no. They all said no. But I heard Nick say Didi yelled at him over the phone.
I'm so glad you said
That's
that.
what I heard. They freaking deaf.
Look, no, I'm so glad you said that. That was one of the things, and I'm heading to the room right now to actually go play the rest of it. That's one of the things she says, because they don't know anything else to say after that freaking clip of Nick literally saying over and over, Gypsy was innocent, I sexualized her, I did this, I took her virginity, and that's when she was open about, I mean, all the shit that they don't want to hear totally goes against the narrative. And she's like, it was weird because Nick says, that Didi didn't like him, but, I read an article, they're talking about a UK article that was dude, I don't know if you ever seen this, Gypsy, but there's an article that was, like, I want to say in, like, the UK or something, and it was basically like it's almost like a true crime, like a fan fiction type magazine, I guess you can say. And it was about this party y'all had outside of your house, and your neighbors were over, and your mom was talking to him and talking about how happy she is for you and Nick, that you found Nick and how much she loves. I'm like, this is not a true story. This is fake. I don't know, but that article, that's what she's talking about. She's like, you know how many times these people have been told that article is not a true, real article, but she's so serious. I'm going there now. I need to grab a cigarette. But she's so dead serious. She's like, I'm just confused because, I know I read an article and blah, blah. In the article it says, girl, because that's a fake, well, not a fake article, it's a real article, but it's not a true story. It's like they pretty much like, kind of like, I don't know. It's almost like when you take something and you add like a, I don't know, I guess fan fiction. I don't know what you would call it, but that's the best way I can describe it. Basically their own twist on the story. But I know that Didi was not saying, I'm so happy for Gypsy. She found Nick and he's just so perfect for her. No.
I can't stay up long, but I wondered if you could if you could address the hundreds of people in the comments that continue to say, ask why she didn't call the police. Can you give them that little analogy that you used to do when we used to do this stuff? About how there's a lot
sure.
of... Thank you.
Okay, so, huh? No, Scott, I'm gonna go in a second. I've got this. Okay, so, imagine there's a husband and a wife, and I know that husband gets beat too, but I'm using something that I'm not gonna use for a guy. So, imagine a husband beats their wife daily, okay? And she works outside of her house, though. She's not even isolated to that home. She works outside her house. So every morning, Monday through Friday, she wakes up and she puts on makeup. She covers up her bruises and she leaves her house and she goes past a friend's house, a police station, her parents' house, and she makes it to work. Where at work, she's around all of her coworkers. And then she leaves work. She passes up her parents' house again, police station, a friend, and goes right back to her abuser and restarts it all over again. Why doesn't she do that? Would y'all invalidate her too? Why doesn't do you know that the hardest part of abuse is leaving? That's the most dangerous part too. The most dangerous part of escaping abuse is the escape. It's the most dangerous part. It could be anyway. It's as simple as that. Would you invalidate a person that goes home every single day, even though, unlike Gypsy, they did go out into the world on their into the world on their own, and they come right back to their abuser? Are you one of those people that would be like, well, they deserve it, they going back home, so they deserve it? I hope not, because fear is like a muzzle. It keeps you silent, and it's us, the ones that aren't in that situation that need to not be acting like this and actually be standing up and using our voice to say, like, no, you don't have to stay silent. Maybe if people wouldn't victim blame so much, maybe more victims would want to use their voice to stand up and actually say something. Not only that, but that was all Gypsy ever knew. She lived it her entire life. Her mother and her didn't get home and evening's like, all right, high five, we made it another day. It just was what it was. On top of that, and I'm saying this, yes, I'm saying this because this is what Gypsy has shared with me, by the way. I'm just letting everyone know. The other thing was her feeding tube. Her mother had put it into her head that if she ever removed that on her own or whatever, she would bleed out and literally die. That's something that also held her back from ever leaving, which is why, I don't know if y'all know this, but there's that video of Dee Dee and Gypsy at the hospital the day of or the day before this murder. You want to know who initiated that visit? Gypsy. Gypsy told her mom she wanted to go get her feeding tube replaced. So that's what they did. You want to know why she did that? Because she knew that would give her 6 months before she had to get it replaced again. That gave her 6 months to where she wouldn't have to worry about it because her mother made her scared of that she could just die if she never got it replaced or if she pulled it out. So that's just one example. That's just one example that held Gypsy back. Just the feeding tube alone, which is why, how y'all say she needed the feeding tube at one point. Let's just say she did, even though I believe that if she did need it because of her mother not giving her the correct amount of food that she needed to make her, but that's my opinion. You don't have to believe it, even though her own family said she ate, when they had to babysit her when her mother got in a car accident. But anywho, so why did her mom never remove the feeding tube after she gained the weight and it was at a healthy weight? Let's see. Oh, wait, because she used it against her. Gypsy, that was one of the reasons she was scared to leave, because of the feeding tube. It was also easy access to her body. You see why there was certain things that her mother was never going to remove? Because not only was it easy access to her body, but it also was something attached to Gypsy that instilled fear in her. That's another example. So I gave you the example of, let's see, the feeding tube, the fear is like a muzzle, you're scared. Oh, wait, here's another one. So Gypsy had family members that actually seen her get up and jump on a trampoline, jump on a bed, walk. And they questioned her mom. Her mom was like, oh, it's progressive muscle dystrophy, That was pretty smart of Dee Dee. And they did nothing. And then her mother had made her think that her dad didn't give a shit about her. And then DFS came to her house, didn't do shit. Dee Dee was supposed to show the medical records. They didn't even, they let it just go without even getting the medical records from Dee Dee. Okay. And then a doctor wrote in her records, something about Munchausen by proxy, still didn't do shit. Gypsy, if you read in Megan's thought catalog, told a woman that was friends with them, this is, not everything is what it looks like. I'm not really, she basically told her that she wasn't disabled and told her that she would do anything to get away from her mom. Guess what? She did nothing. Another one, when she went to Dan's, there were people there that knew Gypsy's story of in the wheelchair. Some that didn't, two that didn't, and one that did. The person that did, you want to know what they did? When they saw Gypsy walking, they called someone from the convention that they knew Dee Dee and told them that Gypsy was there. Those people, Gypsy was outside of her mother's house with people that knew that she was normally in a wheelchair and now she was walking, but yet they called her mom to come get her because they were like, what if she is underage though? And like, Dan's gonna get in trouble. Okay. She told the girl there that night when she was talking to her, all I want is to be a normal girl and fall in love. And the girl said that she felt terrible once they got Gypsy back to her mom's because she said she wished she would ask more questions. And they reached out to Dee Dee and said, why don't you let Gypsy just loose, like off the, like, give her a little room to like breathe, and guess what? Dee Dee blocked all of them. So Gypsy quite literally was failed over and over and over and over and over and over. And you think it should just be so easy for her to call the police or call someone? The police was also there with DFS and didn't do shit. So imagine being failed by every fucking person in your life from the time you are a toddler to your young adulthood. And tell me that you just think it would be so easy. I think I would be pretty fucking hopeless. But I bet y'all didn't know about all those attempts for her to tell. Because y'all were like, why didn't you tell anyone? She did. In so many ways, she told people. She might have never said straight up, my mother's making me do this, but she literally told the woman basically that she could walk. She didn't say I could walk, but she mentioned about not really being disabled. Literally said that and said she would do anything to get away from her mom. And that woman basically just looked at her. The woman told this story herself. She was there's a witness statement from her in Megan's Law Catalog type it into Google, Gypsy Rose Blanchett, Megan's Law Catalog, with the picture at the top is not the one from the act, it's the real picture. Go read that article and you will read multiple instances where Gypsy opens up her mouth about this and no one did fucking anything for her. But y'all just like, why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you leave? Yeah, if only it was that simple.
If you have to ask those questions, then you don't understand trauma and abuse and indoctrination.
Oh, sweet.
When you
Oh,
are
hold
taught
on.
from the
Sheena,
time
somebody just said Bree doesn't have a mind of her own. I don't have a mind of my own? Okay. You follow a narrative that's spoken rather than proved, but I don't have a mind of my own. My narrative is not even a narrative. It's truth that I've found out through research, not through Gypsy. So actually, you don't have a mind of your own. You share a mind with the other brainless people that follow a narrative that, like, again, has only been spoken, not proved. Because no one ever proves shit to y'all. And if they do, come up here and show it. You won't, but I invite you to. I don't have a mind. Please. I'm standing against the like, do you see the number of people in here? And do you see how many people is up here, like and got my back, and how many people it's in the comments? That should tell you something. You are a part of a herd. Okay? You are a sheep. That would make you the one without your own mind. Let me see you come on TikTok and stand up against thousands of fucking people for the last 2 years and then tell me that you have your own mind. Because you don't. Because you wouldn't do that. Because you don't have it in you because you're fucking weak. Wait, I'm cherry picking? I'm sorry, but there's a bunch of comments. What comment is somebody asking? And I did just answer a question. Jesus, Aubrey told me to answer a question. I just fucking answered it. Too gullible. No, y'all are just too stupid. The mods aren't blocking everyone.
the only people I've blocked are the ones that are invalidating abuse, or if it's so blatantly disrespectful and has nothing to do with what we're talking, such as, for example, calling you a man or something stupid like that. You know what I mean? If you just came in here for that, then you can go.
If they think I'm a man, they should ask their dad. And Allison, I'd own my truth, not hide behind you. Literally, fuck you, because Gypsy tries to own her truth every single day, and that y'all don't allow her. And she's not standing. No, she's allowed to stand behind me. I'm speaking on. She never watched the video that I watched today of Nick. She never listened to Nick's jail phone calls. So she's actually up here standing behind me as her friend, speaking on something that she hasn't seen until I just showed it, to speak it on truth. So I'm sorry that you don't have good friends.
And not a single person in this room, just besides Bree, is entitled to this space. If you are blocked, it's because you're getting blocked. You aren't entitled to be here. We're all blocked from the haters' lives. We can't get into anyone. So stop acting like this is some kind of weird thing that we do when we mute you, because you came over here not to have an adult conversation, but to harass and humiliate people. So no, we will mute you. Sorry.
I see people getting muted. You know, the other day, actually, I was in somebody's live. I won't say whose, but I was in somebody's live, and I seen somebody, they were talking about something, and somebody was in the comments being actually respectful, but it was like challenging their narrative, their thoughts. And once they just got like, they were just like, what are you, they was just getting mad at the questions, and they weren't rude questions. It was like, well, what about this? Like, I mean, blah, blah. They got blocked. They got blocked, and they were actually being respectful. They would just, the questions they were asking challenges their narrative. That's the difference. Like, if y'all asked respectful questions, then you wouldn't get blocked and you would maybe get answers. But that's the thing, y'all don't want answers. Y'all don't know how, y'all are mad because y'all are a bunch of man childs and a bunch of woman childs. Y'all are not real women and men. Y'all are petty little children because y'all are not able to accept when you're wrong about something. And it's really simple. You just reflect, accept, and move on. And I promise you, oh my God, you wouldn't even imagine how good it would feel to finally move on to something else in your life, not something that makes you more miserable and pathetic and hateful every day, because that's what this is doing to y'all. Because if y'all, look through the comments, y'all have some serious, y'all want to talk about, I'm so glad Gypsy don't act like that. I would hate for a child to be in a home with someone that acts like y'all do. Gypsy don't act like that. Y'all do, though. I had somebody in my live the other day screaming, talking about, yelling all kind of profanities, and their child was yelling for them in the background. Because y'all care about this shit more than y'all do your own children. Some of y'all. It's giving, y'all need to take a break.
Hey, Brie, I'm about to drop. Ken is getting off of work and simultaneously dealing with a stuffy nose. So.
Well, that sounds so fun.
Yeah, it's fun. She's got 2 top and 2 bottom coming in at the same time.
She's such a big girl.
Gypsy.
Oh boy.
Gypsy.
Uh-huh.
Put some bed on her feet.
Oh, you're
That's
breaking
what I'm
up.
breathing.
Yeah.
He said Vicks Vapor Rub on her feet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Gypsy, well, thanks for coming up, and thanks for coming up, and also don't ever forget that you're a badass, and these people these people cannot fathom the amount of strength that you hold in that little bit of tiny body of y'all's, girl. That tiny body that they wish they had.
Oh my gosh. That stripper body. No, I'm just kidding. Love you guys.
Y'all want her to work for her own money? That's what you're gonna...
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I swear, these people wish they was as unbothered as Gypsy.
I think that I've always felt this way. They secretly fangirl inside and wish they could speak to her. Because I guarantee you, if she ever spoke to many of them, it's kind of like, when you're sitting there hating, and then, Ken might come up in your life, and all of a sudden you're like their greatest fan. That kind of...
Y'all saying 13, y'all better go. If y'all want to write Nick, y'all can probably, I don't know what y'all have to do. You know how to write, what is that, what's the company name that you have to go through? Oh, what is it? JPEG?
JPay, I've heard of that. Yeah.
JPay or J something like that. Look,
Either IC Solutions, either IC
JPay.
Solutions or
Okay,
JP.
so I think definitely JPay is one of them. You can look it up or maybe call the prison that he's at, write him, and you can always ask him about the 13-year-old thing because that's he's the one that was into that. So it's just y'all keep on asking Gypsy and like she just don't have answers for you because like it's not her fantasy, it's his. So yeah. So again, you can always reach out to him. He's probably gonna be in the same place for a while. So you won't miss him. So, there's an idea if y'all really want to answer for that. Because y'all asking the wrong person. I'm sorry for your troubles. And also, while you're at it, you can ask him why he wants to grape dead bodies too. You just throw that in there too. Might as well kill two birds with one stone,
Yeah, ask them that one for us, if y'all don't mind.
And what they usually say is he never did do that though. Okay, well I guess y'all have to wait around for 13 years and see. Like y'all are dumb. Well, actually, it won't work because neither Gypsy nor Ken is a vampire, and that fantasy included a vampire. So, lucky for everyone in this situation, I think we're gonna be okay. Oh, also, you might want to read Nick's emails to Dawn where he says similar things. Oh, also, do you know that Nick spoke to Dawn's daughters and the things that he said to them in emails were so inappropriate, in my opinion? Yes, so I think he's the one with the daddy-daughter fantasy. So you might want to, like I said, check in. Maybe by now he's let go of that fantasy. Rain, do you not agree that? Do you not agree that the thing is that is a vile thing to even speak about? Of course it is. Like, then why is everybody speaking about it then? All right, love you. Can you answer that? Why is everybody speaking about it then? It's like these people want to try to, first of all, Gypsy's daughter's never going to get taken away from her because of something she said to please the man she was with fantasy 13 years ago. I know that y'all wish that Aurora would be put into a fucked up system. I know that y'all want that so bad, but it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. So maybe, choose a different Christmas wish because, yeah. Because that's what y'all want. Y'all want Aurora to go into the system that is so fucked up, where that'll probably actually end up happening to her, right? In a system that is so fucked up that it's actually very common. Because that's what y'all sick individuals would want. Because y'all are so mad that y'all are wrong about Gypsy. Because if this was the other way around and they found a video of Gypsy saying those things, if they found a video where Gypsy said, before, originally, Nick was innocent. And, I sexualized him and I did this, y'all would be like, oh my God. I mean, y'all would be going crazy. But y'all don't want to accept facts. Nick said it. Be mad at him. Go write Nick. That's what else you can add in there. And Nick, we are mad at you because we have been bullying and invalidating Gypsy for almost 2 years now. And all this time, you said this and we didn't know because it was sealed because of your fucking court that you keep on appealing even though you're never going to win it. And thanks a lot, Nick. Thanks a lot for making us invalidate Gypsy, and we're wrong. And now we're too prideful to admit it. Tell him that. Express yourself to him. He's really good with feelings, I heard. But it's gonna be okay. They both did wrong. Oh, you talk about what in the murder? Nobody's debating that, Cats. But yes, I agree. They both did wrong. That's not. Did somebody say that they didn't both do wrong? Because I think they did. I think Gypsy was guilty. For some reason, people think that we don't think Gypsy was guilty. Gypsy was obviously guilty, y'all. She took a plea deal. When you take a plea deal, you don't plead innocent for a plea deal. You have to plead guilty. That's how that works. You don't get a plea deal when you
Are
plead
we letting
innocent.
randoms up for questions? Are
I
we
mean,
letting
not
randoms
guilty.
up for questions? This girl named Jackie keeps Axing and some other person.
No.
She has been caught in lie after lie. This is what we have. What lie? Share Bear, just name the lie. I'm being very honest. Grimbree. Okay, just name the lie and we'll address it. But even though y'all won't like ever the answer, but you know, we could try. Again, no one said he is innocent. It's what he said. She said document. Okay, name the things that's changed. But no, but this past week, we're not talking about, okay, y'all going back to the crime again. So, and y'all going back to her inconsistencies, even though y'all don't know what PTSD is, I don't think. But, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the videos that y'all have been like, over all week long. I finally show a video where it goes against y'all's narrative and y'all are mad about it. We're not talking about her abuse. We're talking about the smack stuff that y'all blame all on Gypsy when Nick admitted in the clip that it was him that pushed that onto Gypsy. It was him that showed that to Gypsy. It was Gypsy that did that for him. So can someone name the lies? Port exists no more. I don't know what that means. But the past is in the past. It doesn't exist. Oh yeah. These ladies should even try to imagine the abuse she suffered. I know they can't. I'm still waiting for one of the lies. This isn't an open discussion. It's a soapbox stand. How is it? Oh, really? Because do you know that anytime I ever see anybody in an anti-Gypsy live ever get ask logical questions, they get blocked as soon as they don't want the challenge? Why? Do you want to come up, Jackie? Do you want to come up and ask a question? Is that what it is? You want me to let you up? If that's what you think, because I can prove to you that's not what this is. A request so you can come up. I'm still waiting for somebody to say a lie.
Be respectful.
Okay, come up. I'm still waiting on someone to say a lie, though, in the comments. And not like she said she didn't go to the beach, because that's stupid.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm
Shit,
wonderful, thank you. How are yourself?
I'm pretty good. I'm trying to find...
Like, I just feel like first of all, I do believe she was abused.
That's
Because if
good.
you're thrifting or anything like that, then of course, like it's an unfit environment for a child to be in. But I'm a nurse, so when I look at how it's like malingering by proxy, it does not fit the narrative for it.
You mean Munchausen by proxy?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
But
What doesn't fit the narrative?
well, in order for you to have the procedures that she's saying that she had that were elective by request from her mother, you can't have those things elective. It has to be diagnosed, and there's a
You know what happens all the time? Like, that's why there's other cases of Munchausen by proxy. That's why there's malpractice suits. That's why there was a child last year that was given chemo treatments and her mom was found to have Munchausen by proxy. She didn't even have cancer and she was going through chemo treatments. How? I have no idea. It happens. People fall through the cracks. People fuck up. Doctors make mistakes. Mothers are really good, or caretakers are really good at convincing doctors of things. Like, it's sad, and it might be kind of rare, but it's probably more common than we know. But so many people don't want to validate it. Because I get what you're saying, and 9 out of 10 times it's probably not the case. But and also this is one thing I try to explain to people. So a lot of people, when you think of Munchausen by proxy, they think of just things that like are or lies. But Munchausen by proxy is the fabrication, exaggeration, or the inducing. Okay, so that means that something could have been induced, something could have been fabricated or exaggerated. So there are surgeries that Gypsy got that may have been needed, but where the abuse comes in is why it was needed. For example, her mother, when she got into a wreck, Gypsy stayed with her grandparents. She had no problems eating, ever. Okay? But yet, her mother got a feeding tube put in her because she said she had eating problems. Also, you should get a swallow study before you ever get a feeding tube put in. Do you know that they put in a feeding tube and she didn't even have a swallow study done until 7 years later? 7 years later. And she had already had that feeding tube for 7 years. And her mother, literally never took that feeding tube out of her, no matter how much her weight had gone up. She had to have caused her to lose that much weight in order for her to get that feeding tube. and everyone else in Gypsy's life saw her eating normal. It was only with her mom. And what does that tell you? A lot of people, and it's really hard a concept for people to like wrap their mind around. So many people want to say like, oh, she didn't need the surgery. She didn't need the surgery. Sometimes her not needing the surgery simply means it wasn't needed until her mom made her need it. Like that's inducing. That's the inducing of a so again with the feeding tube. Let's do the salivary glands. So if you look up, like I've dug so deep into like this case and with her medical records, and I have broke it down like word by word, like a bunch of them, and I went through all her medications. If you look at the timeline of events throughout Gypsy's entire life, and you look at the diagnoses that her mom's trying to get her and the medicines that she's on at that time, if you go and look them up and look up all the side effects for them and what if you combine them together at the wrong doses, what it could do, almost every single time it's like the perfect, like fits into a puzzle, like a perfect puzzle, side effects of what her mother would want to be mimicked for the next diagnosis that she tries to get her diagnosed with. And like I'm dead at like on the mark. Like there's so many things that her mother induced on her because of the things that she was saying for the medication for her to get. And that's where the feeding tube comes into place. Her mother, the guy that wrote Strong Possibility of Munchausen by Proxy, one of the reasons he did that was because she did not have any Tegretol in her system. If your child or if a person has seizures, it is so dangerous not to take your medication. This happened multiple times where her mother brought her in, they tested her levels, and she had no Tegretol in her system. That was one of the red flags that he found. So you know what that tells a lot of experts that have looked into this? It says that Dee Dee didn't give her her seizure medication every single day. She used her medication as a way to mimic symptoms for something else. She probably overdosed her with that. Well, when I say overdosed, she gave her too much of it. It doesn't mean she overdosed, but you know, she's like given her more than what she didn't need any of it, but she's given her more than the normal dosage, which is going to increase the likelihood of you getting those side effects. And those side effects often mimic the thing that her mother wanted her to get a surgery for or get diagnosed with. The salivary glands is a really big example of that, because she was, first of all, they never found the reason why she was only drooling at the bottom of her mouth. I believe Gypsy when she says her mom was putting a massive amount of Oragel in her mouth right before she went to the doctor. I believe that. Not only do I believe that because it doesn't make any sense that they couldn't find the source of the drooling. She was just had a puddle of drool down there, but they didn't know why. On top of that, her mother had so much Oragel in her house. I believe Gypsy. I believe that happened. So, and then her mother did the Botox injections for so long, and until like, you know, and acted like she was like, you know, it's working, you know, it's fine. And then eventually complaining about it again. And then she gets that removed. Now Gypsy has severe dry mouth. She constantly has to drink water. That's why she licks her lips and people make fun of her for it. Like, so Munchausen by proxy doesn't always mean that it's going to be something that is faked. And that's why when I give the example to people that like, maybe she did need some of the surgeries, but it wasn't because she always needed them. It was because her mother made her need them. And at the end of the day, let's say everything, well, we know she didn't have muscular dystrophy, cerebral palsy, she wasn't quadriplegic, all things her mother mentioned, but let's just say that she really did have seizures. Let's say that she really needed a wheelchair. Let's say Gypsy was still in a wheelchair right now. Let's say that Gypsy had cancer at one point, but her hair would grow back, of course, so it wouldn't still be shaved. Do you know anyone who's in a wheelchair who does not live with their mom, who lives on their own and has a family and children and a husband? You might not know him personally, but I'm sure you know someone in this world that does.
I'm a nurse.
Yeah, so I'm sure you know. So okay, let's see. I'm sure you know someone, or I've heard of someone who has seizures that don't live with their mom, that have a boyfriend or have a family. So that's my argument always at the end of the day. Let's just say she had not everything, because we know there's a lot that she didn't have. Let's just say she had some of these things. It's still like her mom gave her a life as if what she had caused her to be like terminal, like she was gonna die and she had to be in her care. That's where where it becomes manipulative. Nothing that was wrong with her would have caused her to have to live the way she lived. She should have been able to go to school. She should have been able to have boyfriends. She should have been able to walk because she could walk. She should have been able to see her family and have friends and go to sleepovers and do all of those things. There was no reason, even with the conditions that her mom claimed she had, that she should have lived like that. And that's this perspective that I wish people could like grasp, because it's not about her being having some conditions and not having some conditions. It's about every single one of these conditions, other than the ones that we know for an absolute fact she didn't have, like muscular dystrophy, which, yeah, maybe she would need around-the-clock care if it was bad. But that's not what she had. Like strabismus. We know she has strabismus. Okay? Strabismus makes you have a lazy eye or cross-eyed. Like, you can live on your own and have a husband or have a wife and have a family with strabismus. Do you kind of like, I don't want to ramble on, I do that a lot. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, even the conditions that her mom, most of them that she claimed that she had, even if she did have them, she should, like, it was not a reason to have her living the way she lived, because nobody else with those conditions would live like that. They would be able to just be normal. Like, there's a lot of people, strabismus is actually common. That's a very common thing, and it doesn't mean that your head has to be shaved and you have to be given a bottle and put on a diaper and be in a diaper in a wheelchair and dress up in these like weird ugly hats and like big baby outfits or boyish outfits. Like, someone with strabismus doesn't have to live like that, but she did. Why did her mom make her live like that? Because her mom wanted her to look sicker than she was, because she wasn't sick. And that's another thing. You can have a microdeletion and not be sick. That's it. You should know you're a nurse, because I hate when nobody can ever understand this. I'm sure you understand that having a disorder does not mean you're sick. Like, if you have strabismus, you're not going around like shitting everywhere. You don't have diarrhea every day. That would be sick. You having diarrhea, you're sick. You have a stomach bug or something. Having strabismus is a disability, more extreme for others, some than others, but it doesn't mean you're sick. Having microcephaly doesn't mean you're sick. People keep on saying she really was a sick child. No, she wasn't. Having a disorder and being sick are two different things. Now, sometimes if you have a disorder, you could have symptoms that make you sick sometimes. But overall, like, being sick and having strabismus are two different things. And it gets so frustrating when, like, that's all we have been trying to do for almost 2 years now, is get people to, like, not see so, like, black and white, because it's not. There's so many layers to Gypsy's story. And on top of that, not just completely throw out the idea that doctors can fuck up, or throw out the idea that...
Oh, no, trust me, I see doctors fuck up all the time.
Right, and it's possible. But then also, the doctors could absolutely not fuck up, and it could be that Dee Dee is making Gypsy need some of the things she needs. A lot of the surgeries were her teeth. If you get your teeth pulled, that doesn't mean that you have to live with your mom until your whole life. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a wheelchair with a diaper, with a bottle, with a shaved head. So that's the point that I always try to make. Even if everything was really wrong with Gypsy, other than the big things that we know aren't, because we see her today, none of those things would have been a reason for Gypsy to live the way she lived. And that in itself is extreme abuse. Extreme, especially because she was groomed to think that she needed her mom.
I completely agree. Like, for a mother to teach her daughter to do all this stuff is 100% abuse. But my problem with this whole Gypsy Rose Blanchard story kind of just goes down to the inconsistencies of what she's saying.
Which ones?
Well, there's a bunch of different video clips of her having interviews with reporters, with Dr. Field, saying that she didn't have solid food until she came to prison, and there's videos of her at Disneyland eating mashed potatoes and stuff like that. And granted, that's not a very large lie.
Not solid food, though. That's not really...
Well, I know